at the Embassy of the Czech Republic. I have the very pleasant task to be the master of ceremony in the next 2 hours. Also, very terrible task to be the master of time during this webinar. So I kindly request everybody to follow the time schedule. As long as some other house rules are concerned, I kindly request turning the mic on mute when not speaking and formulating the questions in writing as a message in the chat box, so they can be answered collectively after the end of the industry session. Now, it is my honor and privilege to welcome Mr. Arun and request him to welcome our guests and address the audience with the views on Tamil Nadu and Czech Republic economic cooperation potential. Mr. Arun has been lately appointed as a president of important Tamil Chamber of Commerce, SICI, and at the same time, he is honorary consul of the Czech Republic in Chennai, so ideally positioned as an extended arm for interested parties on both sides. Mr. Arun, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Dostal. Am I audible?
Yes, indeed.
Through MC, Honorable Minister of Industries, Government of Tamil Nadu, who has fully focused on industrial growth that creates jobs. Mrs. Martina Tobarova, Honorable Deputy Minister of Industry and Trade for the EU Affairs and Foreign Trade, Government of the Czech Republic, whom I had the pleasure of meeting during her visit to Delhi last January. His Excellency, Mr. Milan Hovorka, Ambassador of the Czech Republic in India, who's ever energetic and enthusiastic in promoting the India-Czech bilateral relationship. Through N. Muruganandam, who unfortunately was not able to join us today. Dr. Neeraj Mittal, IAS, Managing Director, Guidance Tamil Nadu, Government of Tamil Nadu, whom we work with very closely, an extremely professional organization, actively promoting investments into our state. Dr. Jerry Hansel, Director, Czech Chamber of Commerce, whom we are glad to meet. Mr. N. Shivashankar, Vice President SICI and my dear colleague. Representatives from the Czech and Indian companies present today, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. As we say in Tamil, Vanakkam. As I said in the Czech Republic, Dobry den. Wishing you a very good afternoon. Glad to be addressing you on behalf of the Southern India Chamber of Commerce and Industry, SICI, and the Honorary Consulate of the Czech Republic in Chennai. I would like to extend a warm welcome to each of you for today's event, Indo-Czech Executive Roundtable, Doing Business with Tamil Nadu. SICI would first like to appreciate the Government of Tamil Nadu for having signed 14 Memorandum of Understandings earlier this year, totaling to 10,000 crore rupees, covering various industries, including renewable energy, data centers, auto components, tire manufacturing, liquid oxygen, carbon fiber plates, waste management, EV battery packs, food products, and others. During the second quarter of this year, according to Projects Today, Tamil Nadu was second in the total number of proposals signed within our country, Chhattisgarh being ahead only due to the government projects involved. A few words about SICI. SICI has completed 110 years of service to industry, government, and society. Founded in 1909 under the inspiration of Mahatma Gandhi, SICI has inherited a rich tradition while at the same time remaining youthful, dynamic, and embracing change. SICI has conceptualized and conducted several events, in the process working very closely with the Government of Tamil Nadu. The roadshow event for MSV 2019, the International Engineering Fair that is held in Brno, was organized by SICI in Chennai during August 2019. Representatives of the Industries Department, Government of Tamil Nadu, as well as the Czech Embassy in New Delhi had well participated. A few words about the Czech Republic. In India, many still refer to the country as Czechoslovakia. However, the Velvet Revolution of 1989 led the self-determined split in 1993 into the country of the Czech Republic and Slovakia. While the Czech Republic forms only about 60% of the land area of Tamil Nadu, the population and the GDP is about the same. However, the Czech Republic's per capita income is about $23,000. It is a developed country, high export income, innovation-driven economy, driving services, manufacturing, and industry. The literacy rate is about 99%. It's ranked 14 in the Human Capital Index and among the top 10 safest and peaceful countries to be at. Over 1 lakh Indians visit the Czech Republic annually. It's certainly a historic city, beautiful in all respects, whether it's castles, the scenic Vltava River, as well as the clean streets. When we look at the Indo-Czech friendship, Czechoslovakia was the first country to recognize independent India in 1947. India, in turn, was the first to recognize the establishment of the independent Czech Republic in 1993. The relationship has developed on trade, investment, and tourism. Silk and spice in particular have been traded since the time of the Duchess of Bohemia. Since the 1920s, Bata and Java have been hugely popular in India. Czech glass has also been very famous in India, laid out at palaces, hotels, and several other places within our country. The Czech citizens are also well familiar with yoga. Intergovernmental visits between the two countries have been held regularly year on year, leading to increased friendship. India was the partner country at MSV 2017 in Brno. India's connect with the Czech Republic, when we are to look at it, there are about 15 of our companies based in the Czech Republic, including Mittal, Infosys, Canoria Chemicals, Genpact, Glenmark, Motherson, and the like. There's about 2,000 strong Indian community living in the major cities of Prague and Brno. Hundreds of our students undertake higher education and research in Czech universities, of course, covering medicine, engineering, and science. There are about 70 Indian restaurants in Prague alone. When we look at Czech's connect with India, there are about 48 Czech companies in India, including Skoda, Tatra, Zaras, Papsel, and so on. In July of 2018, India 2.0 by the Volkswagen Group was launched to invest 1 billion euros in Skoda and Volkswagen to develop new models. The following year, in January 2019, the Honorable Czech Prime Minister, Mr. Andrej Babis, flagged off a 2,000 crore R&D facility in Pune, part of the Volkswagen Group's India 2.0. When we look at Tamil Nadu and the attractiveness that it proposes, Tamil Nadu is one of the foremost industrialized Indian states, contributing significantly to India's GDP and tax revenues, and this has been for several decades. Our state is now targeting investments worth $10 billion in the next 5 to 10 years. There is a plan to attract OEMs and Tier 1 suppliers. Several schemes have been made available to support and handhold industries to undertake in-house production. Business opportunities include automotive, advanced engineering, electronics, energy, IT, as well as the defense corridor project that Tamil Nadu is aggressively progressing upon. Tiruvannamalai Ashram, as well as the Aurobindo Ashram, have been of great tourism interest to Czech citizens visiting our state. When we look at the Czech Republic and Tamil Nadu working together, as far as its history and potential, our Tirukural, or sacred verses, if we might say is a literal translation, is a very important part of us, and quite a lot of you will subscribe to that. This was a text that was written during the BC era by our poet Thiruvalluvar. Tirukural has a very good Czech connection through Professor Kamil Václav Zvelbil, who was a Czech scholar in Indian literature and linguistics, notably Tamil and Dravidian linguistics, literature and philology. Professor Zvelbil made the only translation of the Tirukural into the Czech language. The Czech Republic has been a strategic partner since several decades, starting with assisting our foray into the heavy industry segment. The steam boiler at Tiruchirappalli's BHEL was built with Czechoslovakia's assistance. SICI has hosted His Excellency Mr. Miloslav Stasek, as well as his predecessor, Her Excellency Ms. Eva Dvardkova in Chennai. SICI has also hosted two trade delegations from the Czech Republic. We are now awaiting the situation to improve to enable us to lead a delegation to the Czech Republic in the near future. Tentatively, we have suggested to Mr. Muruganandam, our industry secretary, about possibly planning for March 2021. His Excellency, Mr. Milan Hovorka, Ambassador of the Czech Republic to India, was one of the few diplomats who traveled all the way from Delhi to participate in the diplomatic outreach program organized by the government of Tamil Nadu in Chennai last February. Innovative Czech technologies can be combined with Indian resources to achieve a useful mix that can benefit both our societies. In addition to industry, we can also work towards areas such as culture, arts, music, and sports training. Going forward, I would like to take this opportunity to share with you 3 important areas SICI is progressing upon under my presidency, and I'm glad to be working along with my honorary consulate office of the Czech Republic towards these. We invite you to participate in this as well. The first one is called Yadum Ure. SICI is conducting this event in association with the Guidance Tamil Nadu, Government of Tamil Nadu, and it's scheduled for October 29th through 31st. During this event, the Government of Tamil Nadu is proactively reaching out to the vast Tamil diaspora across the globe. The objective is, while safeguarding and promoting Tamil culture, importantly also reaching out to the prospective investment community to propel our state's economic growth. We have linked up with over 400 associations and 38 countries. The second initiative is that of the Industry Museum. SICI is working with the Government of Tamil Nadu to create a state-of-the-art museum detailing Tamil Nadu's industrial growth. We'll be glad to have the Czech Republic's participation. This is especially considering Czechoslovakia's efforts several decades ago in establishing BHEL Trichy. The third program is that of SICI 360. It's a monthly program with eminent guests that we've drawn from society, a platform wherein, in addition to our guests' expertise also shared, are their career path, their mentors, their experiences that can encourage future generations and their inputs for society. Our first event is scheduled tomorrow, and it's going to be with Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, who's the chief scientist at the World Health Organization and also a daughter of Tamil Nadu. In conclusion, we are sure that today's program, beyond being a good get-to-know, will also be a catalyst for development and growth. SICI and the Honorary Consulate of the Czech Republic in Chennai looks forward to catalyzing more such events benefiting Tamil Nadu and the Czech Republic. We sincerely appreciate each of your presence with us today. Thank you, and wishing you all safe times ahead.
Thank you very much, Honorary Consul, for your address. May I now kindly request Dr. Neeraj Mittal, Managing Director and CEO of Guidance Tamil Nadu, Government of Tamil Nadu, to deliver his presentation. Guidance is the nodal agency for investment promotion and single window facilitation of government, which focuses on attracting investors and facilitating new industries to Tamil Nadu. Earlier was Dr. Neeraj Mittal, the Resident Senior Advisor, World Bank Group, Washington, D.C. He is passionate and experienced in bringing technology to bear on societal problems to improve lives of citizens by enhancing efficiency, equity, and access to government services. Over to you, Dr. Mittal.
Honorable respected Martina Toberova, Deputy Minister of Industries for the Czech Republic, Honorable Minister for Industries, Government of Tamil Nadu, who is here with us, His Excellency Milan Hovorka, Ambassador of the Czech Republic, Mr. Arun from SICI, our colleague, Mr. Shiv Shankar from SICI, other friends who have joined us in this wonderful program to strengthen the relations between Tamil Nadu and Czech Republic. I am pleased to be here today. I welcome you all and would take you through a short presentation about the opportunities which are available in Tamil Nadu for investment and economic growth for the benefit of both Tamil Nadu and Czech companies. Next slide, please. Next slide. Tamil Nadu is one of the second largest economies of the states in India. It has contributed 8% of the national GDP, roughly 46th largest economy in the world. It has about 6% share of India's population. It is well connected through several airports, international airports, and seaports. It is a highly industrialized economy with about 74 of the top Fortune 500 companies having home in Tamil Nadu. The largest number of factories in the entire country are in Tamil Nadu state. With a large population of 70 million, roughly 35 million is actually urbanized, which is again the highest in the entire country, which means a large, vibrant domestic market. We have about 15% share of the India's coastline, which means massive sea resources are accessible to the state. One of the most important inputs of economic growth is availability of steady and reliable power. The state is projected to be power surplus for the next 10 years. The economy of the state has been growing at about 8%, which is roughly double of the national average, which means we are contributing really very well to the overall growth of the country. In terms of infrastructure, if you see, we have got 6 airports well spread across the state. There are about 2,400 weekly flights to and from Tamil Nadu, of which about 540 are international and 1850 are domestic flights. We have 4 large seaports, 22 other minor seaports, and we handle roughly 240 million tons per annum of cargo between all these ports. There is an extensive network of highways connecting various parts of the state, which allow for good communication network, good facilities to transport products for a vibrant domestic population and domestic market. We are also connected very well to internet connectivity both at Tuticorin and Chennai through submarine cables. The connectivity stands at about 14.8 terabits per second, which has given the state unparalleled advantage to leverage digital connectivity to the rest of the world. Next. The state, under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, has been updating its economic and industrial policies and incentives according to the times. We have recently unveiled an electronic hardware manufacturing policy. We are in the process of actually unveiling a new industrial policy. We have come out with ethical AI and blockchain policies, which goes on to show that the state is ahead of the curve in attracting investment. Another policy which was very warmly welcomed was the electronic vehicle and manufacturing policy. The industrial policy comprises of a capital subsidy, which can go up to 25% of the eligible fixed assets on a case-to-case basis, which is a special package for large investments. We have a standard package as well for lower investments. We provide incentives on acquiring land. We give up to 50% of subsidy in the northern areas, and we would give about 100% subsidy in southern areas. We also incentivize green manufacturing through environmental promotion infrastructure subsidy, and also try to lower the cost of operation by waiving electricity tax for up to 5 years. Wherever large employment opportunities are involved, we also incentivize training and payroll subsidy to ensure that the employees are productive at the best. We also make land at concessional allotment rates, especially in the southern districts, at 50% of the rate. When the investments exceed 500 crores, we provide a bespoke package which goes beyond the policy. If you see the industrial landscape, you will find that there are clusters all through the state. We have several developed belts One of them is Chennai. The other is Hosur-Bargur Industrial Belt on the west. A little south, Salem-Tirupur Industrial Belt. Investments around Tuticorin. We have a large number of parks, industrial clusters, comprising of government parks, private parks, special economic zones for exports, and parks for small industries. There are several industrial parks in and around Chennai, logically so because the city of Chennai is well connected and a lot of investments have come in these industrial parks. Next. The state is also a leader in ensuring that businessmen can focus on doing business and focus less on complying with regulatory compliances. The state has given the powers of single window clearance to my organization, Guidance. We host a single window portal which currently caters to 36 services across several important departments. But we are adding another 200 services in the next 6 months so that the entire G2B transactions will become faceless and contactless, which will become deemed, which means that if they are not given in certain point of time, they will automatically be issued, thereby removing the uncertainty of regulatory delays in the approval processes. We are doing away with a lot of renewal requirements, which means once you take approval and you keep filing your returns, there is no need for again coming back for renewals. The state is also implementing a lot of reforms in the district level. We have also come up with a very innovative portal solely dedicated for grievances and any help required by the industries called the BizBuddy, in which we have been able to resolve any request for help within 30 days. Compared to the waiting times, we have reduced the waiting time by about 80% for 90% of the cases which have come on BizBuddy. Next. The single window system helps in obtaining land, construction permits, fire, electrical clearances, helps us in getting the power connection, ensuring that we are able to operate and get environmental clearances, and also renewal of some licenses which are required by other laws. Put together, this single window system, once the applicant comes through this, is assigned a dedicated resource within Guidance who handholds for all the clearances which are required with the state. This ensures that the industry promoters do not have to run from one government department to the other, but they have a dedicated Sherpa to help them quickly start their business. In several cases, in the recent times, from the day of entry into Guidance to commercial production has been shortened under a year. And this has been possible due to excessive focus of the Honorable Chief Minister and our Minister on ensuring that the businesses start and create employment and economic growth in the state. With these few words and a small introduction about the state, I end my presentation. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Dr. Mittal, thank you very much for your highly informative presentation, which we appreciate. Now let's welcome among us our chief guest, Honorable Minister of Industries, Government of Tamil Nadu, Mr. M.C. Sampath. Mr. Sampath is an Indian politician and incumbent member of the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly from Kadalur constituency. He is currently the Minister of Industrial Department, Government of Tamil Nadu, where he represents Anna Dravida Munitra Kazhagam Party. Please, Honorable Minister, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Vanakkam, Honorable, respected Ms. Martina Rivera, Deputy Minister of Industries and Trade, Government of the Czech Republic, His Excellency through Milan, Ambassador of the Czech Republic in India, Dr. Neeraj Mittal, MD Guidance Bureau, Tamil Nadu, my friend through Arun, President Siki and Honorary Consul of the Czech Republic in Chennai, Mr. V.N. Sivasankar, Vice President Siki, Chennai, members of the industries from Czech Republic and from Tamil Nadu, members of the media and friends, good afternoon to everyone. At the outset, I welcome the efforts of the Embassy of the Czech Republic in taking specific action to develop the relationship between Tamil Nadu and Czech Republic. During this time of the crisis, new relationship must be built and existing one strengthened. Tamil Nadu is one of the most progressive and industrialist state in India. With the second highest regional GDP, Tamil Nadu offers the best infrastructures needed for any industries to thrive and be profitable. Tamil Nadu can be a prime destination for the Czech defense manufacturing, as it is the only brownfield defense corridor in the country. Most of the Indian airports use radars from the Czech Republic. Pharma is another sector with much potential. With changing global pharmaceutical supply and manufacturing chains, Czech Republic and count on Tamil Nadu as an alternate credible source of APIs. Auto components is one of the strengths of the state. Chennai is the automobile capital of India and accounts for 35% of India automotive component production, and every 3 minutes one car is manufacturing here. Tamil Nadu is a well-developed hub of electronic and hardware with 16% of the total electronic production in India. Tamil Nadu holds second place in computer electronics and optical products manufacturing. With recent Tamil Nadu electronic manufacturing policy, electronics is a vibrant sector for the investment. In addition, Tamil Nadu has made great strides in ICT sector and is often called the ITES and SACS capital of India. We are proud of the prominent presence of Indian IT firms like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, HCL, to name only a few. And I am sure this will be a great sector that will be benefit from the Czech Republic. I once again thank the Czech Embassy, the Principal Secretary for joining us today, but unfortunately is not there, and the Southern Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries for initiating this event. I urge all the industries participation to utilize this platform and help us build strong business ties. Thank you. Nandri, Vanakkam.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for your special address. May I now request Mrs. Martina Tauberová to deliver her special address. Martina Tauberová joined the Ministry of Industry and Trade of the Czech Republic in November 2019 and has been appointed as a Deputy Minister for EU Affairs and Foreign Trade. Before joining the ministry, she was posted on different diplomatic positions at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Czech Republic. Last 5 years, she worked as head of the Economic and Trade section at the Czech Embassy in Vienna. Over to you, Madam. Please unmute yourself. We cannot hear you.
Okay. Good afternoon to you all in India, to our friends. Dobré poledne českým přátelům. Dear Honorable Minister Sampat, it's a great pleasure to be with you. Dear Excellencies, dear Mr. Ambassador, dear representatives of chambers of commerce, as well as our businesses. It is my pleasure to greet you briefly during our bilateral event today, and also to thank our embassy in New Delhi, as well as to the government of Tamil Nadu and to the Southern India Chamber of Commerce and Industry for organizing this bilateral event, particularly in the situation in which we are now still facing, and even more the challenge of the COVID-19 pandemic. So I really appreciate that despite these circumstances, which are not favorable and which are consuming more and more of our time and engagement, that we do still find time for our bilateral interactions. I really appreciate that on both sides of you. I think that it is, despite the crisis, it is key to look beyond and to promote our cooperation with you, with our promising partners, and to grasp the opportunities that we feel both on our sides. I consider this roundtable in this regard as an extremely important step towards our enhanced economic cooperation with Tamil Nadu. In general, let me state that obviously India is overall among our most important partners in your continent, and we have a very long history of collaboration. We all know about Tomáš Baťa, the Czech entrepreneur. We all know about the Java motorcycles. We all know about many companies which are operating from India in the Czech Republic, as well as companies which are active in India from the Czech Republic. We are nowadays trying to promote new projects, help our companies to advance on the Indian market, find their partners, and we assist the investment projects. These ties can be definitely strengthened considerably, in particular with your state, with Tamil Nadu. Outstandingly, the Czech Republic and Tamil Nadu share many strengths, including our traditional industry, engineering, the automotive sector, textile or agriculture. Based on this synergy, we can certainly launch new initiatives, new joint projects, and new ways of our enhanced cooperation. I will look forward to its interaction in less dramatic times, hopefully not only in a digital form. I wish you all successful business and above all, good health to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam, for sparing the time for today's roundtable with the Tamil Nadu. Let me please also acknowledge the presence of Mr. Richard Hlavatý, Senior Director General from Ministry of Industry and Trade among us, and also colleagues from Economic Diplomacy Department of Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Czech Republic. Now, it is my pleasure to welcome Ambassador of the Czech Republic, His Excellency Milan Hovorka, and request the keynote address. Ambassador Milan Hovorka is the longest-serving ambassador of the Czech Republic to India, previously acting as a permanent representative of the Czech Republic to WTO or former Deputy Minister of Industry and Trade. Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for your kind introduction. Honorable Minister, Madam Deputy Minister, Mr. Managing Director, business partners, colleagues and friends, I would like to start by expressing my gratitude to you, Honorable Minister, the authorities of Tamil Nadu, Guidance Bureau, and definitely my fellow colleagues from the Ministry of Industry and Trade for being such great partners in organizing today's roundtable discussion. And I would also like to thank all who have contributed a lot to make this to happen. And definitely, I am particularly pleased to note important presence of representatives of both the Czech Republic and Tamil Nadu business community. And I am grateful to them for the case of strengthening bilateral relations between Czechia, which, as you may know, is one word name of the Czech Republic, and Tamil Nadu. Minister Sampat and Madam Tauberova, I believe both of you are absolutely right to say that the Czech Republic and India are very closely related, and they, due to their jointly shared values, democracy, respect for the rule of law, and the convergence of views on a number of issues. So all these important mutual sympathies and complementarities make each of us very important, I would say, natural and trusted partners. And I'm not going to repeat what has been said regarding the impact of the current COVID pandemic. No doubt it is one of the most unprecedented challenges in a living memory. I believe I would agree with all that has been said. But I'm also particularly pleased to hear from our policy masters, both in Prague and Chennai, that despite all these challenges, despite well, tremendous strides we are taking to balance between livelihood and life, it is more than ever important to go internationally and to enhance international cooperation at multilateral, regional, and definitely bilateral level. And this is what this roundtable is about, and I find it very timely, indeed necessary. I believe that today what we are doing is that we built on quite intensive contacts up to date, and we are taking important step to take a new, I believe, more result-oriented dimension of our bilateral partnership. Dr. Mittal, you are absolutely right. Tamil Nadu, the second largest economy in India. And I remember, thank you very much, Mr. Arun, that you mentioned that I was among those ambassadors who attended excellent presentation of Tamil Nadu's potential and its willingness to work with international partners earlier this year. And we just heard and had opportunity to see some slides pointing to what Tamil Nadu has been able to achieve over the last couple of years. And I have also to mention, which is also very important, and as I see it, Tamil Nadu has been taking very aggressive strategy to combat COVID-19 based on a massive testing and strict adherence to all epidemiological measures. And thanks to this strategy, I believe Tamil Nadu is now poised to rebound to pre-COVID-19 levels very soon. I believe that Madam Deputy Minister, she alluded to important synergies rising from complementarities that exist between our two economies in terms of structure and industrial performance. And I believe she's absolutely right, as we both enjoy excessively high industry to GDP ratio. And allow me also to that one particular factor. Definitely the Czech Republic has been, as any other country, severely hit by this coronavirus pandemic. But I would dare to say that despite this fact, and that despite all challenges the economy has been facing, we still remain to be extremely interesting partner to the international community, and definitely also to our Indian counterparts. And I will not bother you too much about figures. I will just mention that despite all these difficulties, challenges, Indian exporters are doing extremely well these days in Czechia. And I just checked recent trade data, and I found that imports originating in India have decreased by a mere 1.7% compared to the first 8 months of 2019. And 2019 witnessed a record as to imports from India to the Czech Republic. So I believe that the point I am making is that we should not give up, and I believe that we can gain quite a lot if we redouble our efforts with a view to knowing each other better, bringing people together, and increasing awareness of existing opportunities. And I would even dare to say that it has never been a better time to seize the opportunities that exist between Czechia and Tamil Nadu. They do have a very solid basis to build on. Believe me, Tamil Nadu is one of most preferred places, but I don't want to be too personal. We do have too many friends in Tamil Nadu. And we come to this important state quite often to strengthen the existing ties or establish new partnerships. The only I regret that I can't be with you this afternoon in person, although, as I mentioned a minute ago, I was seriously considering the possibility of traveling and be with you, Honorable Minister. But if you allow me, and definitely managing director and other colleagues as well. So I look forward, and definitely, Mr. Arun, you are absolutely right, reminding us of the Czech Republic being a partner country to extremely important, one of the most important industrial events in India, International Engineering Sourcing Show, hosted so graciously in Tamil Nadu, and I believe earlier this year for the first time in Coimbatore. And definitely we are having one of the best local business minds with us, Mr. Arun. And I would like to express my gratitude to you for all you have been doing to promote bilaterals between Tamil Nadu and the Czech Republic. And now, definitely, you have added a new hat standing at the helm of Southern India Chamber of Commerce. And my humble request to you would be to use this important contact and to help us to reach as many as we can. And finally, and once again, I am grateful to the two sides businesses for being with us. I'll be definitely staying with you. I'll be keen to listen to you. I'll be taking notes with clear objective of better understanding what the two governments can do together with a view to promoting or facilitating your mutual endeavors. So with your kind permission, Honorable Minister, I will bring my initial remarks to an end, and definitely I'll be more than happy to come back a bit later, eventually, to wrap up our this afternoon's discussions. So once again, thank you so much, Vanakkam.
Thank you, Excellency, for your encouraging words. Thank you indeed. I would like now to invite Dr. Jiří Hanzel, Director of Department within the Czech Chamber of Commerce, in charge of organizing outgoing and incoming trade missions, seminars and webinars focused on foreign trade and export support, conferences and other activities related to international affairs. Please, sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stan, for the floor. Good morning from Prague to the afternoon, India. Let me please express my appreciation and gratefulness to the Embassy of the Czech Republic in India, as well as SICI, for organizing this opportunity. Because when I was thinking what would be the key message of today's roundtable, I found a parallel with Queen's song, "Trade must go on. Business must go on." And that confirms actually that my thinking style is very close to Ambassador Milan Hovorka, because he said we shouldn't give up. So the trade must go on. And this is actually our main task as Chambers of Commerce, to bring people together. This is something that we have been doing for all our existence. And of course, when I was counting those high-profile business missions accompanying government and state officials from Czechia to India, over the last 12 years, there were 7 of them we organized. The last one, and actually very important one, and in that context, it is actually related to Tamil Nadu, because we had the pleasure and honor to accompany the Minister of Industry and Trade in 2018 to the International Engineering Sourcing Show in Chennai. And there were some memorandums of understanding signed, and this is actually the main purpose of our work, to achieve something tangible, not to only deliver interesting speeches that might be instructive, but at the end of the day, we are interested in the businesses being successful and trade going on. You must realize that in this moment that we are actually facing now, that situation, and that confirms because I'm now at my home connecting to this meeting, we have difficulties to face. But actually, I appreciate the courage of our businesses to develop their business context, because the main purpose of today's time is to maintain contacts. Based on feedback from our companies that are doing business with their Indian counterparts, this is the major challenge now. So please help us maintain this existing cooperation that we have, because that would be a very frustrating result if we lost this connection to our existing business partners. And we as Chambers of Commerce, and of course we as a National Chamber of Commerce, have had really perfect communication and cooperation with FICCI, the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Of course, it applies also to potential cooperation with SICCI. We are open to any platform or any tool to bring people together. Of course, we are human beings. We like to meet. But unfortunately, these days, it is not possible to meet. So if it's not possible to meet in person, let's develop an opportunity to meet at least virtually, to see each other, because this is something that is very important for building up important business relationships. So we are now considering actually to introduce also for other countries, but it applies to India too, some tools for virtual business meetings. If we cannot visit each other, at least we can find new contacts and maintain the existing ones through the online platforms. By the way, there has not been only losers in this crisis that we are all facing. There are some branches of economy that are actually winners, and one of them definitely are ICT solutions and ICT companies. And we have found out how important for us these tools that make and maintain the efficient context between each of us are important. And of course, healthcare industry and other industries that can also support others to transfer their knowledge and maybe also transfer their expertise to help others maintain and develop new business contexts. So the main message, I will not take more of your time, because of course the most important and the key message is trade must go on, and we have companies here participating. So let them develop their contacts, and we as Chambers of Commerce are there at their hand to support them in doing so. So thank you very much once again for inviting me. On behalf of the Czech Chamber of Commerce, I would like to say we do appreciate your courage and your efforts in maintaining and developing business contacts. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Director. The trade will go on, and so will our roundtable, even though the inaugural session is nearly over. However, I would like to encourage Mr. Shiva Shankar, Vice President of Southern India Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to extend his vote of thanks. Please, sir.
Good afternoon. Honorable Minister of Industries, Mr. MC Sampath, Government of Tamil Nadu, Martina Tobarova, Honorable Deputy Minister of Industry and Trade for EU Affairs and Foreign Trade, Government of the Czech Republic, Ambassador of the Czech Republic, His Excellency Milan Dr. Neeraj Mittal, IAS Managing Director, Guidance Bureau, Mr. A.R. Arun, President SICKI and Honorary Consul of the Czech Republic in India, and friends. It is my pleasant duty to propose a vote of thanks to the Ambassador of the Czech, His Excellency Milan Hovorka, for spearheading this economic diplomacy efforts in the midst of these challenging global circumstances. Ambassador had dwelt extensively on the close relations between the Czech Republic and Tamil Nadu and the steps being taken to strengthen the partnership and the inherent strengths of both regions. I also thank Ms. Martina Tobarova, Deputy Minister of Industry, for addressing the members of and taking these steps to increase trade and cooperation. It's my bound and honor and duty to thank Honorable Minister of Industries, Sri MC Sampath, Tamil Nadu government, for being with us today and addressing us on the key advantages of setting up business in Tamil Nadu. We are indeed very grateful to you, sir, for having accepted our invitation and addressing the members and all participants. It is our hope that with your support and guidance, more industrial development would flow into Tamil Nadu and the bilateral relationship would continue to grow. I also sincerely thank Dr. Neeraj Mittal for his excellent address and presentation on the competitiveness and advantages for setting up businesses in Tamil Nadu. I have no doubts that SICKI would do its part to sustain the interest generated and improve bilateral ties. And with the support of the Czech government, we should be able to create more industrialization and more synergy between us. At this juncture, it is also my duty to thank all the staff of the Czech Republic Honorary Consul's Office and Guidance Tamil Nadu for assisting us in making this forum possible. I once again thank all of you for having accepted our invitation to attend this session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Shankar. Now we have reached and progressed to our second half of the program, which is the industry session, where each of the company will have about 3 minutes to presenting themselves. Questions will be answered after the end of this block upon messaging firstly them to us via the chat box. First of all, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Sandeep Chopra, Managing Director of Kumap India Private Limited. Mr. Chopra has over 25 years of experience in the field of power generation. Kumap, which is one of the most dynamic Czech companies in India, provides kits to convert diesel generators to dual fuel and manufactures solar hybrid controllers for microgrid applications. Over to you, Mr. Chopra. Please unmute yourself, Mr. Chopra. We cannot hear you. Yeah, thank you. I think you can start speaking, Mr. Chopra, while you are uploading your presentation. We can hear you.
Is it?
Mr. Chopra?
Is it audible now? I'm not able to unmute it.
Yeah, we cannot see the presentation, but we can hear you. So you can start talking, while uploading your presentation.
Okay. Good afternoon and namaskar, Honorable Minister, Deputy Honorable Minister, His Excellency Mr. Milan Horarka, Czech Republic Ambassador. I am Sandeep. I would like to present. See, we are working for hybrid systems. We are working for biofuel systems, where actually we convert diesel engines into dual fuel machines. This effort to reduce particulate matter in the DGs by converting them diesel engines into dual fuel machines. We have been constantly with states where DG sets are actually not allowed these days because of pollution problems. So we have working with them as a partner just to convert their diesel engines into dual fuel machines. By converting diesel engine into gas engine, you are not only saving environment and particulate matter, we are also saving money spent on the diesel. COMEP is actually committed for the green energy, green power generation. So we are working towards systems for hybrid and microgrid applications. Where we integrate diesel engines, we integrate gas engines, we integrate solar hybrid systems with the grid. The only objective is to give reliable power, reduce the particulate matter, and reduce the emissions in the system. We have few more systems whereby we can actually provide systems where systems are becoming more and more stable. The problem sometimes grid faces is that they don't have a mechanism by looking at how do we stabilize it, and we have seen grid outages in certain states. Recently, it was in Mumbai. So we have grid monitoring systems. We have hybrid systems by which we can see the demand in the grid system, and we can monitor it based on the demand system. Pumping of battery power, pumping of diesel engines are done. We have systems by which we can also monitor and make the grids more reliable. I would like to give your attention that COMEP is a company is not only producing one of the biggest number of controllers in the world, but also we are giving more and more emphasis on the environment issues. Our commitment is not only to produce or generate power, but power has to be produced in such a way that it is actually beneficial to mankind. So keeping this vision in view, we have started collaborating with the DG manufacturers in India, by which we are giving them a technology where they can easily convert their diesel engines into gas engines. This can be done in their factories, but this can be done in the existing DG set systems also, who are not allowed to run right now. So by giving them technology, it's a fully integrated kit, and we have a program that these kits are now indigenized. So the technology from Czech Republic will be transferred here. The kit will be manufactured or assembled, in fact, in India, so that the technology transfer took place. Our motto is that we not only do business, rather the business has to be beneficial for both, for our customer, for ourselves, as well as for the environment. So this is a brief introduction of COMAP, although we are producing a lot of other controllers as well. But I would not take much time because the time is already there. So thank you very much for listening COMAP and their control systems. So we will be highly obliged if COMAP is given a chance to do business in Tamil Nadu and to collaborate with the Tamil Nadu government. Thank you very much.
Thank you indeed, Mr. Chopra. I'm sure if you want to, that after the end of the session, we can share your presentation with Indian stakeholders, so you know they can get to know about COMAP through this way. Next, I request to share the views of Guidance Bureau on potential in this sector, Mr. Sajjad Sadiq. Mr. Sajjad Sadiq, the floor is yours.
Good day, everyone.
Good
Can you all hear
afternoon.
me?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Sadiq.
Yeah, good day, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm here to share with you Tamil Nadu's electronics ecosystem. As you may know, Tamil Nadu is the second largest economy in the country. Tamil Nadu also ranks second in India's computer electronics and optical products manufacturing. Around 16% of electronics output is manufactured in Tamil Nadu. Out of this, the computer and the peripheral equipment accounts for 62% of Tamil Nadu's electronics output in the state. The 5 key segments of electronics and hardware sector in the state are mobile phones, industrial and strategic electronics, consumer electronics, electronic components, and the computer and peripheral equipments. Furthermore, the electronic sector is driven by other downstream sectors such as automobile industry, telecom, aerospace, and defense and medical devices. So some of the major players in the electronics industry in Tamil Nadu are Nokia, Dell, Foxconn, Samsung, HP, Delta Electronics, Build Your Dreams, and Salcom. Some of the electronics manufacturing clusters in the state are located in the Oragadam, Sriperumbudur, and the Kanchipuram area. We also have some upcoming electronic manufacturing clusters coming up in Coimbatore and Krishnagiri districts. Also, the telecom instruments and the electronic instruments have contributed 38% of the total electronic exports from Tamil Nadu. The major 3 components which are exported from the state are
went international in 2018. It started its journey with from 2018 to 2020, 4 companies, and significantly strengthened its presence both in industrial as well as in commercial footprint. Today, we have 4,500 passionate people working in Ceptiva, and we have 4 manufacturing sites, one in Czech, in Prague, another one in Romania, in fact 2 in Romania, and now 1 in India. We also have R&D centers, 3 R&D centers, including 1 in India. And we are today sending our medicines in more than 30 countries. So I'll little bit talk about now, one of the manufacturing unit which we have in India, which is in Ankleshwar, Gujarat. So like our friend talked about in Tamil Nadu is very rich in terms of industry and very good in GDP numbers. Similarly, Gujarat, as you know, is also equally, enriched in terms of GDP to India. And we here in Ankleshwar, we have been providing medicines almost more than 30 years as a part of earlier Sanofi and now as Zentiva. So me, I had Zentiva in India, and my role is to build the relations and provide the medicines to our patients worldwide wherever possible. Our manufacturing network is very robust. Just to give a little bit of an introduction, we have one office in Mumbai in BKC, and we have a manufacturing site in Ankleshwar, which falls in district of Bharuch in Gujarat. It is equidistant from Vadodara and Surat. The acquisition of this manufacturing site by Advent was in the month of May, and it was a strategic decision by Zentiva, so to secure the medicines and supplies from India for the markets in Europe. I would a little bit give you a brief what this manufacturing unit is all about. So we have three components. We have chemistry, where we produce intermediate and APIs. We have a very big pharmaceutical plant which produces more than 6 billion tablets, and we have a development plant which develops APIs. The plant is, have various certification. We are a US FDA approved chemistry plant, and also a lot of other, certifications like Europe, Japan, Russia. And same way in pharma also, we are certified by EU, we are certified by Taiwan, Russia, so we are highly, in a regulated space, and we continue to provide medicines from our plant to the needies. In this COVID time, we feel really responsible to ensure medicines to keep our teams safe. And I can tell you that in this whole period of COVID since March, except for 5 days when the government started the lockdown, we have been working tirelessly, and my team has been doing exceedingly well a job to continuously provide medicines to all patients. It's been really a privilege for me to talk to all of you and to introduce Zentiva. I'll be happy to give any further details in Q&A session if needed. Thank you very much. We are committed to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sood, for the presentation of Bengal Tiger among Czech investors in India. And let me express the hope that your example will lead and encourage other Czech companies in similar steps. Very good knowledge of Indian market has also our next presenter, Mr. Karel Leškovský, who is chairman of Pharma Invest and Development, company which provides high-quality organic products, including fertilizers, increasing the productivity of agriculture by up to 50%, currently present in Africa and expanding to South America into 2021. The floor is yours, Mr. Leškovský. We can see the presentation, just please unmute yourself. Yes.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
So thank you very much, dear Honorary Deputy Ministry, dear Mr. Ambassador, and dear all colleagues, business partners, all participants at this roundtable. Thank you very much, Mr. Dostal, for organizing it and for invitation. I would a little bit correct your words. My knowledge of Indian market is a little bit limited, is not so good as it has been introduced. but I will try to do the best. To understand what we are now, it's necessary to know the history, but our company structure was so wide and so spread that it's almost impossible to explain it in a short time. So only very quick. The pharmaceutical part, we were 3 shareholders. Our base or our start was the company VOM. It was the scientific research center we acquired after privatization. Later on, we started to manufacture our own food supplements. Later on as well, medicine. Maybe our colleague from Zentiva will know it because we manufacture it for Zentiva omeprazole under the name of brand name of Helicid and ciprofloxacin. Just making the story short, 2016, we 3 shareholders, we split, and I started to operate my own company, and I started with food supplements as it was in the past, and later on, based on market demands, we extended our focus, and we have recognized that the future is more in the sustainability, ecology, disaster management, and so on. And therefore, we expanded other fields of our focus instead of food supplements. We still are manufacturing and supplying food supplements, but it's the minority of our business. What I would like to point out is a little bit the field of disaster management. We started with field hospitals, and then we based on the demand, we expanded our activities, and finally, the situation is now so that we have pretty high demand on military equipment. So we expect to become fully licensed military or defense equipment trader by the end of the month. The second big part we are working on is water treatment. We acquired several patents, and our first water cleaning application, water cleaning system will be installed within few weeks. I hope successfully. More details I can give on request. The reason why we have been invited is the fertilizer. Sounds we acquired shares a few months ago, and we are sure we have made a right step. Our fertilizers are really innovative. We don't use any chemical additives. The technology is patented, and we process waste. Yeah? So our technology is, or our principle of our fertilizer is to modify waste into plant nutrition. What makes us special? It's really the base of the fertilizer. is really no chemistry inside. It gives an enormous economical advantage. We have seen that the farmers are able to earn over 25% or more compared to general used fertilizers. It's how to say, it's Viagra for the plants. It balances the nutrition, so it can not only to help the grow, but as well to eliminate other negative impacts to the plants. For example, we can apply the fertilizers after floods, where generally the plants are damaged, but after using of our fertilizers, the plants are growing again and becomes strengthness again. But the major message I want to bring here is that we are not bringing to you fertilizers. We are not bringing to you investments only, because money we have enough by our own sources. What we are bringing to you is an enormous marketing tool, is a political program. You can talk to your people. You can make gains, political gains, on one side, and on the other side as well, you can help your people. You can help your farmers. This is the major message. We have already some successful stories behind of us, and of course we would like to continue with this successful story in country like India, where I have a pretty close relation to. My daughter lives there. We have a joint company there, so it would be a pleasure for us to give you this political tool to help your people, to help your farmers. The technology is pretty simple. We built collection point close to
Mr. Leszkowski, I'm afraid I think we lost your voice. Maybe the connection of your microphone or something. Yes.
And as well, the major factory is optimal to be somewhere to the rendering factory. We need because I see it's working. Mr. Dosta? Oh, it's okay. So, do you hear me now?
It is working now, Mr. Leszkowski. Yes, we can.
So, what was the last you have here? What was the last? So, hello.
I think last that we heard was about you started to describe what you need to build a technology.
Okay. What we need? Good. We need to build collection points for the waste, for the hooves, for horns, and for feeders, and then to get a area of approximately 5 acres, and that's all we need from the investment point of view. Of course, we need local partners for distribution. If there would be an investor interested, to build the factory with us. So he is welcome, but we are able to finance it by our own sources as well. So that's what is to build in India and together with our chamber Czech and of course a lot of the governmental institutions and governmental structures. We will be able to extend our footprints in India. We already have. So we operate a kindergarten in Amritsar Elementary School. We just opened it. Showroom for exclusive Czech glass, and I hope that in the very near future, our drones will help to grow your plants, and that after 1-2 years we will say, yeah, we made an interesting project which help people, help the local politicians, and of course will satisfy our business needs. So that's all from our side. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leškovský. As you know, Czech Republic will be partnering the major event in 2 weeks focused on the waste management. So I think that our embassy can go even further in promoting your activities and your waste processing technologies, as you just nicely described to us all. Now, I have received the information that our esteemed guest from the Mahindra World City, Mr. Vibhav Mittal, is with us. Mr. Vibhav Mittal, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Yes, very much. Can you hear me and see me?
Yes, we can. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Milan, and it's wonderful to be here. Good evening to everyone. Great to be catching up, and I'm really sorry there was some network issue. I couldn't connect earlier. Very quickly, I was asked to speak on electronic sector in Tamil Nadu. There's a couple of points I will put in across. I think Tamil Nadu and Chennai especially is one of the most important cities as far as electronic manufacturing is concerned. It is one of the top 2 centers for electronic manufacturing in India. And as far as the government policies are concerned, there have been some fantastic policies which government of Tamil Nadu is coming out with for the companies which are investing in the electronic sector. There is a special electronics policy from the government of Tamil Nadu, which most of the international companies and the Indian companies can take advantage from. And I believe that electronic sector is going to be one of the most important growth engines for state of Tamil Nadu. Now you must be wondering what I do and what my company do. I am from Mahindra and Mahindra Group. Just to quickly share, my screen with you. I am from Mahindra and Mahindra Group, and I'm sure are you able to see the screen? Yeah. So we are a $20 billion company. We are a huge group as far as India is concerned. We are in 10 different sectors of business, including electronics and IT, information technology, and we are present in more than 100 countries with around 250,000 people working across these 100 countries in 10 different sectors. And some of these sectors are ranging from automotive to electronics to IT. And the company I represent is from the infrastructure and real estate division of Mahindra Group, which is called Mahindra Life Spaces. And as part of the group, what we do at Mahindra is basically to develop real estate and infrastructure for the manufacturing companies which are looking at coming to India and setting up their operations when they are looking at a new industrial infrastructure in India. We have largely formats of businesses which we do. We have a housing division which is doing all the mid-premium housing. We have one of India's leading industrial park developments company called Mahindra World City. We have these projects across 2 cities, one in North India and one in Chennai. We have now new division which is called Origins by Mahindra World City, which are small industrial clusters which we develop across different locations. And apart from that, we have a group company called Happiness, which is into affordable housing and worker housing. From a footprint point of view, we are pan-India company. We have across India a lot of our projects which are located. As I said, in North India, Mahindra World Cities are located in Jaipur, which is the heart of the tourism sector. The other project is in Chennai, which is the heart of manufacturing sector in India. Apart from that, we have residential and other real estate across the rest of the country. From a perspective of what we do, apart from what the India brings on in terms of the advantages, as an infrastructure player, one of our responsibilities is to develop integrated ecosystem for business advantage. And what we do across our locations is that we have only one objective, and that one objective is to make in India. And through that, we have more than 160 companies which are located in our industrial parks, in 4 industrial parks from 20 different countries. And we have a whole lot of companies from Europe which are located, especially from Germany and France. We are the go-to player as far as the European businesses are concerned. And just for the sake of the audience here, all the BMW cars you see on Indian roads are manufactured in Mahindra World City, Chennai. And JCB machines, which are the earth excavation machines, are manufactured out of our Mahindra World City, Jaipur. So they have their own manufacturing plants in all these cities. And as I said, a lot of companies are from Germany, France, UK, US, and other European countries. Just to quickly take you through, Mahindra World City Chennai and Mahindra World City Jaipur both are government of respective state government public-private partnership projects. We develop industrial parks along with these government entities, and the other Origins, which is a smaller cluster, are with global partners. Origins Chennai is being developed in joint venture with Sumitomo Corporation of Japan, which is one of the largest developers and trading houses out of Japan. These are all sustainable green infrastructure which we provide. We are India's largest green infrastructure developers, and we are rated amongst the best as far as industrial clusters are concerned. And what we do is we balance livelihood, living, and life for the customers who are coming in. What it means is that we provide integrated infrastructure for the companies. Companies can set up their manufacturing plants. They can actually live there and enjoy a fantastic work-life balance when they are living within Mahindra World City. I'm sure all of you would know that currently Paris is talking about 15-minute commute from their homes to workplaces. Mahindra World City Chennai and Mahindra World City Jaipur already have that, and we already have less than 15 minutes of walking distance from where you live and where you work when you are in Mahindra World City. This is about Chennai. It was India's first gold certified green township from industry development point of view. It has 3 special economic zones and 65 plus industrial customers. This is the 4th best city to live in the private sector, and we have more than 2,500 families which are living inside and working inside. So we have more than 50,000 people who are working in different companies inside Mahindra World City, and those people are also enjoying a quality of life by living within Mahindra World City as well. So what we have done is we have zoned the entire industrial park into different zones, and those zones are coming together and bring in a high quality infrastructure when we develop these projects. On the other project which we have is Origins Chennai. Origins Chennai is the new industrial park which we are developing in Chennai. It is very close to the Chennai ports. We are just 20 kilometers, 25 kilometers from the nearest Chennai port. And these are all well-planned industrial infrastructure. This is in joint venture with Sumitomo Corporation, and we already have 3 large global companies which are located here. So from an overall perspective, our value proposition is basically to provide a very strong industrial ecosystem for the companies. We have a whole lot of electronics and information technology companies as far as these projects are concerned. We have some of the world's largest, IT companies which are located and operating out of the industrial parks. Infosys, Wipro, Capgemini are some of the names which come to the mind. We have the largest computer-aided design center of Renault Nissan, which is located in Mahindra World City, Chennai. So there's a whole lot of IT and electronic work which is being happening on these industrial parks. And the whole concept of these industrial parks is to have ease of doing business, shorter time to market, and smart and sustainable developments, apart from providing very high quality infrastructure. So this is from me. If you are more interested to know about Mahindra World Cities, please feel free to contact me or Southern Chamber of Commerce or www.mahindraworldcity.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mittal. I really value that you found a time for us in your busy schedule and that you joined us. Coming back to pharma sector, next I request to share the views of Guidance Bureau on potential in pharma, Mr. Zacharia Karunakaran. Mr. Karunakaran, are you here with us?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. So I will just share my screen. Yeah, so can you see my screen and hear me? Yeah, are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, we can. We can see you and hear you.
Okay, all right. So I had the pharma and medical devices desk here at Guidance Tamil Nadu. So I will just give you a brief overview of why this sector is really important to us and what we have planned for the future of this sector. So yes, so Tamil Nadu is the 5th largest manufacturing sector for pharmaceuticals in India, and we have around 400 plus companies that specialize in bulk drugs, formulations, and medical devices. And if you look at some of the key companies that are already in Chennai, I mean, you would see very strong parallels with those that are already in the Czech Republic. So many of them who are there are also here, and many of them were homegrown from India, then expanded to the Czech Republic. And many important players across biotech, bulk drugs, and medical devices. And the state output in 2017-18 was more than $1 billion. And we lead in the export of surgicals. Tamil Nadu is a leader in that. And in terms of infrastructure, we are looking to build the pharma ecosystem in the state. So as far as bulk drugs are concerned, we are coming up with a new bulk drug park that is very close to Chennai city. So this will be spread across an area of nearly 2,000 acres. And we invite companies from all over the world to come and set up over here. And the pharma sector has assumed significance in light of recent developments. I mean, the pandemic and the need for, focus on supply chains being rooted in a very balanced manner. And we are also focusing a lot on medical devices. So a 330-acre Medipark is nearly ready. So if any companies would like to explore that, I mean, we are very open to conducting site visits with the companies and taking you on a tour to see what is the area, what are the facilities available, and what are the various opportunities for collaboration with the state. So if you look at the major players, we have homegrown companies like Trivitron, we have Orchid for chemicals, pharmaceuticals, Cura, Stan, Phoenix Systems, Power Formulation, so wide variety of players. Of course, I mean, we have a long way to go in so far as this sector is concerned, but I think we are very poised for a smooth takeoff. Now, if you look at the map of Tamil Nadu, you can see that there are certain clusters that specialize in pharmaceuticals and medical devices. So, of course, I mean, many of them would prefer to be close to the Chennai region, the city. And then, of course, you have certain areas. If you go east, you have the Hosur Bargur industrial belt that Dr. Neeraj Mittal was mentioning during his presentation. You have the Coimbatore region, where you have a large number of players. You also have a biopark over there, which specializes in biotech related industries. And you also have southern districts. So Tamil Nadu is promoting southern districts in a very large way. So the attractiveness of southern districts is that there are additional incentives available for companies. There is a vast area of land that is available for companies with a good infrastructure, good water supply. Now, if someone wants to set up a bulk drug unit, you need a large amount of water supply, good quality water. So that is something that we are starting to assure investors will definitely happen. So we invite you to the southern regions as well, apart from the well-developed clusters that we already have in the other parts of Tamil Nadu. So, I mean, of course, for an ecosystem to develop, we need a lot of skilled manpower. So, as you would know, Tamil Nadu is a medical hub. So a large number of people come to Tamil Nadu for treatment to hospitals, because we have many leading hospitals over here. You have the Christian Medical College, you have the PG, you have Pondicherry, you have so many regions that cater to medical tourists, not just from all over India, but also from South Asia, from the Middle East. So naturally, a market is there in Tamil Nadu. So taking cue from that, we also have an extremely skilled ecosystem. So we have leading medical colleges and pharmaceutical colleges that train manpower for this precise reason. So we have more than 70 institutes providing a range of pharma, biotech, and various degrees and diploma programs. And every year you have around 1 million graduates who are joining our workforce. So you are thereby assured of a steady stream of skilled manpower. So that is one of the big questions that come up. Do we have skilled manpower if we were to set up a facility over here? And we can assure you that that is extremely well established, and we have more institutes coming up. So this is something that you can really take advantage of.
Excuse me, Mr. Zakaria, I'm sorry to interrupt you, yes, but as we have today nearly 30 speakers, and the scheduled time for each speaker is 3 minutes, you will really please me if you will manage it within 7 minutes or so. So please continue, but also please do respect other speakers. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, sir. I'll be done in 2 minutes. Yes. So, I mean, of course, I mean, you know about our Tamil Nadu industrial policy. So any industry setting up here is eligible for a wide range of incentives. So I invite whoever's interested to please get in touch with us, and I'll be happy to share the state of Tamil Nadu can do to make sure that you have a very smooth journey over here. And of course, we also have a biotech policy, and also recently, like my former colleague, Mr. Sajjad, spoke about the electronics policy. So one subcomponent of the electronics policy is medical electronics. So we are considering that a priority sector. So we also invite you to please explore these policies and take advantage of them. So, I mean, I will leave you with that. I mean, investment opportunities are plenty in Tamil Nadu, either in contract manufacturing, in research and development, and also in the medical device sector, where, I mean, we have a Medipark, like I said. I mean, these are some of the products that we are expecting to take off, and we are offering a wide range of incentives. So we invite you to please collaborate with us and take this forward. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Karunakaran. I'm sure that if you are interested, you can share your very useful and interesting presentation among the Czech stakeholders after the conclusion. And now, I would like to request Managing Director of Maladi Drugs, Mr. Jayasilan, to share with us his thoughts. Please, Mr. Jayasilan, are you here with us?
Good evening, all. Mr. Millan, there is a small correction. I am not the managing director of Maladi here. but I have been called as I am representing the Indian Drug Manufacturing Association. Over 1,000 Indian drug manufacturers are part of this association, and we normally tell this as IDFA. I am the chairman of Indian Drug Manufacturers Association of the state, and Mr. Karnagaran has clearly presented about the. I am going to take. I don't have any slides. My idea is just to give you invite all the Czech investors to come into pharma sector and also biotech sector to Tamil Nadu. I can highlight the important reasons which already mentioned by Mr. Karnaran, but I will reinforce. As you all know, pharma is a knowledge-based sector, and first advantage of Tamil Nadu is you have pharmaceutical, biotechnology, scientists or skilled people. All are English speaking, so everyone can understand English, and we are well versed with US FDA. Regulator, UK MHRA, US FDA and regulated market regulations, our people are well versed. And above all, today in pharma, IT is very important, information technology. So what happens is most of the data, particularly the quality control analytical data are in the IT sector. We have a very good IT skilled people in Tamil Nadu particularly. So English speaking workforce, pharmaceutical background and with IT fluency, Tamil Nadu, apart from whatever our industry guidance said, in terms of infrastructure, you have both seaport and airport. Above all, we are well connected. More than around near to 700 manufacturing industries are here. We are well connected with all ports, and we are getting API from all over the world, and also from India and China. It's coming. And Tamil Nadu government is now going to come with the exclusive API park which can be used. What is the advantage is you can manufacture product at US FDA, UK MHRA standard, and you all know India is called as the pharmacy of the world because we are exporting to over 200 countries across the globe. So if you come and put your facility in India, you will ensure that quality drugs at affordable price you are getting, and you can cater to the entire world, including US, UK, Japan, all these regulated markets. That is the benefit of it. It is a very rare opportunity of having all infrastructure support from the government, because Tamil Nadu government is taking pharma as a high trust sector, also having a skilled people with all this combination, IT, additional language, with all these things. Tamil Nadu would be the destination for investing in pharma. Both you can come into API, formulation. If you want R&D, all international companies like Pfizer, all are having their R&D centers in Chennai. Mostly their global stability is handled only from Chennai. Their pharmacovigilance are handled from Chennai because of English speaking and skilled labor. So these are all the benefit of Tamil Nadu. On behalf of Indian Drug Manufacturers Association, I welcome all of you, whoever is interested in coming into Tamil Nadu, and we are here as a neutral association to facilitate any support you need from pharma sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jayasilan. Another example of prospective sectors on both sides is defense. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome among us Mr. Jayakumar Jayarajan, Director of Joint Venture of Česká zbrojovka based in Chennai. Česká zbrojovka is one of the oldest and biggest firearms manufacturers in the world, exporting to over 100 countries, now also with representation in Tamil Nadu. Please, Mr. Jayarajan, could you tell us more?
Yes. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
To thank you all for giving us an opportunity to be present here and showcase our products and also our joint venture. We profoundly thank the government of Tamil Nadu and the government of Czech Republic for having given us an opportunity to present our companies, both our companies, to your forum. So our company, first slide. So our company is based in Chennai. Countermeasures Technologies Private Limited, CMT, is in joint venture TOT partnership with Siska Brajovka, a company based in Czech Republic, one of the oldest firearms manufacturers in Europe. Founded in 1936, they've been in the front line of providing some of the best firearms to world armies and militaries worldwide. They are NATO certified, NHA compliant, and ISO certified, and all their products exported to over about 90 countries worldwide, including India. Coming to our company, CMT, it's a defense consulting firm on an early occasion, and with over a decade of experience in supplying arms, ammunition, and special forces equipment pan-India. We have delivered to about 23 state police forces, paramilitary forces, and our special protection group, and to the Indian Air Force, the Garud Special Forces in particular. The current joint venture that we have with Siska Brajovka is to realize the dream of the vision of Make in India in defense. For which reason we have been associated with Siska Brajovka for a while now, and we have started to realize the project in the state of Tamil Nadu. Currently, we have about 10 acres of land, a state-of-art manufacturing facility which is coming up in Tiruvallur district. That is falling under the Tamil Nadu Defense Corridor. Currently, we have the ability to expand our production capacities, and we have earmarked more than 300 acres of land near Tiruvallur to enhance our product capabilities. The currently construction facilities are about 21,000 square feet of manufacturing and assembly space. Marketing building is also part of the whole proposal. And our construction activity, which is happening at the moment to realize the Make in India initiative, by far supersedes all the aspects of defense and security manual in terms of construction of a private manufacturing facility in India. Currently, the proposal is to manufacture and proof test small arms. Basically, Siska Brajovka is a world leader in manufacture of small arms, including the CMP CZ Scorpion submachine guns, the CZ807 7.62 into 39 assault rifles, the Bren 5.56 into 45 carbines, and 7.62 into 5 on NATO caliber battle rifles. They are widely in service in European nations, and India is also part of the clientele of Siska Brajovka. All these years, we've been working on making this Make in India initiative a reality. And with Siska Brajovka's association and transfer of technology and joint venture, we'll be realizing that dream through the Tamil Nadu Defense Corridor in India. So I'm joined by my colleague, Mr. Gokul Ananda Yuvaraj. He is the CFO of the company. And we have also Mr. Ivo Karlic, International Sales Director of Siska Brajovka from Czech Republic, joining us right now. And I would like to invite him to say a few words before we close. Mr. Ivo.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank the embassy for organizing such an amazing event, even if it's online. But I wish we could meet very soon in person as well. I would like to describe Česká Zbrojovka maybe just in 2 sentences, or would like to say the biggest advantages of CZ. CZ, because we are on the market for more than 80 years. That means that we are already producing, have big knowledge about the firearm production. That means that because of the joint venture, we can very quickly move the production to India and start the production running, hopefully by the next year. And the second one is the wide portfolio of CZ, because the soldier or the police officer doesn't always need only one firearm, but the whole bunch, from the pistol up to the sniper rifle. To the wide portfolio of CZ, we can deliver basically all the sizes and all the necessary firearms which the government or the military use. So I really hope we can have an opportunity to present our products very shortly to the government, and I believe you can find our products convenient for your use, and I'm looking forward to cooperate with you and the government of Tamil Nadu. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to both of you gentlemen, Mr. Karlitz in Uherský Brod and Mr. Jalajan at the same time in Chennai. Now I would like to give a floor to an expert on the defense sector from Guidance Bureau, which is Mr. Ramachandar Pudipedi. Mr. Pudipedi, are you here with us? Guidance Bureau, can you hear us?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we hear you now.
Yeah, I should be able to also project my slides. So if you can just give me the control.
Okay, you can start, Mr. Pudipedi.
So you have the slides with you?
Yes, we can see the slides.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. So the moment my team said that I must make a small presentation to the audience here, I was very excited for about a couple of reasons. One being very personal. The car that I drive is from the Czech Republic. I drive a Skoda. And then I remember when I was learning violin about 10 years ago, my instructor went and picked a violin, and when I gave it for a bit of touch up and repair, the master said, "This is from Czech Republic." So I have a very special connection with the country. Normally, we are used to having violins from Italy and France, but then I had one from Czech. So with that personal connection and affection, I am here to represent the state of Tamil Nadu, home to one of 2 defense corridors in the country. If you can just go to the slide, I will be able to. No, I don't have the control. Yes. So I represent the state of Tamil Nadu, one of the 2 defense corridors in the country. There are only 2 defense corridors, and Tamil Nadu is one of them. The state is strategically located as an aerospace and defense manufacturing hub. Because of its location, because of the port connectivity, and because of so many factors such as ease of doing business, the state is a home to over 120 aerospace component manufacturing companies and over 700 companies supplying to defense PSUs in India. I am speaking from Chennai, which is next to Avdi, a major defense manufacturing cluster focused on manufacturing of heavy battlefield equipment. In the same state, we have Coimbatore cluster located in central Tamil Nadu, which is also a major supply to the ordnance factories. We are proud to host reputed business houses and their suppliers such as Honeywell, Thales, Quest, and Boeing, to name a few. As we are talking, the government of Tamil Nadu is committed to the ambitious target of attracting investments over $10 billion in the next 10 years, with a particular focus in the aerospace and defense industry. I'm sure all of you are aware of the MRO, maintenance, repair, and operations opportunities in the state. Commercial aircraft maintenance, repair, and overhaul which is an essential requirement to ensure that the aircrafts are well maintained in a predetermined conditions of airworthiness to safely transport passengers and cargo. In the recent past, we have been working extremely closely with homegrown companies that are looking for collaborations from countries the world over. Therefore, Government of Tamil Nadu is keen to facilitate MRO operators. I'm happy to tell you that the efforts are being made to establish an MRO complex in Meenambakam Airport based on landlord concept. As the support of AI is critical for MRO operations for using the runways, taxiways, ATC, the site has been identified for suitable MRO as learned from the airport director as I'm talking to you today. I'm also glad to share that Tamil Nadu is also working on an advanced computing design engineering center and aerospace park, which is not very far from the city of Chennai, with an advanced computing and design center. And we are in talks with reputed companies such as Siemens to set up a center of excellence so that it can complete the ecosystem to support large OEMs, their manufacturers and their suppliers that can create a sustainable growth for the industry. The state also provides special incentives to attract investors from countries which are planning to relocate their manufacturing base. The defense corridor has a special impetus after this policy is in place. Guidance, the agency that I represent, is a nodal agency for investment, promotion, facilitation, and single window mechanism. We are here to support your investments, to advocate your incentives, and to get fast track clearances within 30 days. I welcome you to invest, innovate, and create and fly high. Sky, as we say, is not the limit for Tamil Nadu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pudupedi, for inviting us to fly high. And I also value your personal touch by driving Skoda Auto. Now, I request CEO of Electronic Lab, Mr. Nanda Kumar, to share with us his thoughts. Mr. Nanda Kumar, is he with us here? Hello, Mr. Nanda Kumar from Electronic Lab. Okay, so I think we will have to skip and continue with the next sector, which is very important for both countries, automotive, for the Czech Republic and also for Tamil Nadu. The next Czech company develops own technologies also applicable in automotive industry and is represented by Head of Sales and Export, Mr. Tomáš Faltus. Works well, among others, specializes in thermal cameras and distance survey from drones. So in my opinion, very useful and also demanded technologies. Thank you very much for sparing the time with us, Mr. Faltus. Can you please tell us more about your product portfolio?
Okay, thank you. So good afternoon, everybody. I'm also very happy to be here to present our company. Thanks for this opportunity. I'll tell you something about our company, about what we are doing, and present our portfolio. So, as already mentioned, we are producers and solution providers in the field of thermography. It's called, in different words, thermal imaging or infrared, for you who are not very well orientated in this problematic. It's basically a measurement of the temperature of the surface of objects, human beings, persons, products, whatever. We are quite small company among all these big companies who are presented here on this session. We have 50 people, 50 employees, and we are based in Prague in the Czech Republic. I will share the screen with you with our website where we can see our portfolio, which we can go through. So is it now visible?
Yes, it is, Mr. Faltus.
Okay, perfect. So here I will just go quite quickly through our segments, our business units we are operating in, because we don't have really much room and time here at the moment. So the first one is automation. We were sorted on this conference to automotive, and it was because we have a solution. We have a thermal imaging solution for automation process. So this means that we have a thermal imaging system which is able to control products from the line where the products are made by thermal changes. So for example, like the bumpers for the cars. So our solution is able to tell this product is okay or not okay. The second segment where we are operating, which doesn't have anything to do with automotive, is the fire prevention. We have a system or a camera which is able to prevent the fire problems. We call it like early fire detection. So it warns you, it gives you alarm before the fire even starts. So basically you set the critical temperature, and once this is reached, you get the information, so you have more time to do something to prevent from the fire. The other segment is UAV payloads. 5 or 6 years ago, Volkswagen was the first company in the world who presented the dual thermal sensors for drones. And since then, we are on the top in the market with our Virus Pro, which is one of the cameras what we are producing, which is the best thermal sensor for drones at the moment on the global market. We have 5 unique cameras. 2 of them are really unique. It doesn't have any competition. It's especially Virus Agro, which is used for measuring water stress index for crops, or the GIS 320, which is a camera for detecting the gases from drones. So you are able to detect like a methane or any organic gases from drone. In another business unit, in another segment, we are always together with universities, R&D institutions. So for all our systems, for all our cameras, we are providing the SDKs. So the university is able to develop their own software or firmware based on our SDK. In agriculture, I already mentioned the Virus Agro, where you can measure the water stress index from drone. And we have also Hoof Inspector, which is a system controlling the hooves from the hooves of cows to indicate that the cow has a problem or is ill or something. All these segments, what I mentioned until now, were very important before COVID came. Since the COVID came, all our energy and all our sources were moved to our human body elevated temperature scan, which is called Medicas. So since this spring, we really started to mainly work on Medicas, because all other businesses were like on hold and everybody was trying to prevent from the COVID. So the Medicas is able to measure the human body temperature, and it's used in entrances to the buildings, to the companies, to the offices, anywhere where the people are scanned before entering if they do not have a fever. So that's still the key product which keeps us very busy at the moment. For example, we installed this camera really around the globe, from the nuclear plant in State Washington in the US to Zentiva in Prague, for example, or the Japanese embassy in Australia. So really everywhere we sold hundreds of these units, and I can honestly say that it's one of the best systems available on the market. Medicas is connected together with BlackBuddy. BlackBuddy is a, let's say, heating source which is keeping precise temperature, and it works for calibration of the camera in the real time. We have also the OEM components, so we are able to cooperate with other companies in terms of OEM. And we have our own softwares which are used mainly for post-processing of the captured images from our systems. So that is basically what I wanted to share with you today. And thank you very much for attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fotus, for your very interesting presentation. When a few moments ago, Dr. Hansel from Czech Chamber of Commerce mentioned that there are losers, but also they are winners. So I believe that with your product of Medicas, you belong to those, happier ones who can call themselves winners. Now, I would like to invite the representative of Guidance Bureau on potential in automotive sector. Is Mr. Prabhakaran among us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Mr. Prabhakaran.
Yeah, give me a second. I will connect my screen. Can you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see that.
Yeah, okay. Hi everyone, myself Prabhakaran. I'm handling the automobile sector. Starting about the automobile sector, it is one of the major contributors to the growth story of Tamil Nadu, especially Chennai, which is the capital of Tamil Nadu, which is known for its automobile ecosystem. It is one of the top 10 auto hub in the world. Tamil Nadu is the second highest vehicle population in the country with 27.7 million vehicles and accounts for 6.4% of electric vehicles sold in India. Tamil Nadu has an installed capacity of producing 3 cars per minute, 10 two-wheelers per minute, and 1 commercial vehicle every 90 seconds. For the last 5 years, Tamil Nadu is selling 2 motorcycles per minute, 1 scooter every 2 minutes, and 1 car sold every 3 minutes. We are number 1 in tire manufacturing in India. Tamil Nadu has a strong automobile ecosystem with the presence of 15 plus auto OEMs like Hyundai, Daimler, Yango, Yamaha, Royal Enfield, TVS, Ford, Renault, etc. And with the major companies having their R&D centers here, we are able to produce high quality vehicles. Last year, we have launched our electric vehicle policy with the vision to attract 50,000 crore worth of EV investments, which will generate employment of 150,000 people. Existing players in the state, such as Hyundai, TVS, Ashok Leyland, have ventured into EV space. After the launch of EV policy, EV companies such as Ather, BYD, Mahel Electric, Yangoa have demonstrated interest to invest in our state. I believe in the short and medium term, we'll see an increase in usage of personal transportation, which will lead to a possibility of capacity expansion for 2-wheelers and 3-wheelers, and also 4-wheelers. In continuation to that, last week, companies like Apollo Tires, Hyundai Via, LS Automotive have signed MOU for their expansion plans, and battery manufacturers for EV like LI Energy, Green Tech have signed to set up a new manufacturing facility in Tamil Nadu. In line with the natural trend of vehicles becoming environmentally friendly, safe and connected, we are very much geared up to attract investments from EV startups, EV manufacturing and automotive electronic manufacturing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Prabhakaran. May I now request the Managing Director of Infant Engineers, Mr. Rajasekaran, to share with us his thoughts. Please, Mr. Rajasekaran.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
First of all, I wish to thank the Tamil Nadu government and SICKI and the Czech Republic for giving us to present us. And I'm here to present for the group called SIMA, Sipcot Irungattukottai Manufacturers Association, and NIQR, National Institution for Quality and Reliability. Sipcot Irungattukottai Manufacturers cluster is situated some 40 kilometers west of Chennai on the Bangalore highway, which houses 170 corporates, including Hyundai Motors. We provide employment to close to 50,000 people, and we are one of the biggest contributors to the exchequer of both Tamil Nadu government and the central government. So it is a great opportunity for the Czech partners to work with us, since there is a good infrastructure and we were declared as a model industrial estate during the global investors meet, and we have one of the best infrastructures in the country as well as in Tamil Nadu. Further, many ways Chennai is called a capital. One of the important factors is Chennai is the quality capital of India. If you see outside Japan, Chennai has the most number of Deming awardees in the country, in India, as well as next to Japan. So this provides a great opportunity for quality products coming out of our state and particularly from our industrial estate. So we really look forward to work with you and have a great quality and forward. Thank you for the opportunity.
You are most welcome, Mr. Rajasekaran. The pleasure is on our side. And next I request Mr. David Josefi and Vratislav Minář from Czech Trading Investments, which is currently in the process of entering to India market. This company, among others, specializes in water treatment plants and desalination technologies. Over to you, gentlemen.
Hello, Mr. Dostal?
Yes, I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Miner. I am representing company Czech Trading Investment. Our products are especially water trading technology and desalination technology. Right now, we are just about to signing contract in the state of Tamil Nadu for our water treatment technology, and another contract really we negotiating. I'd like to present you our product in short movie presentation.
Okay.
Please, Mr. Minář, go ahead. We can see your presentation.
Jo, další. Tady si.
Už tam dál, můžete klidně vypřepínat.
No, tak další.
I think you can continue with your description and.
Jo. Tak to je typický, jak se to používá. Co máš tady napsané?
Pane Mináři, pane Josefi, můžete klidně mluvit zatím, jo? Můžete klidně popisovat.
Jo, dobře. To, co tady... V podstatě
Teď to tady má vždycky napsané quick.
no.
Pane Josefi,
ano.
S dovolením, jestli se potřebujete připravit, předáme slovo a vrátím vám ho po ukončení druhého zástupce. Souhlasíte, nebo jste připraveni pokračovat?
Jo, dobře, tak když tak my v podstatě máme tady tu prezentaci stejnou. Jako.
Dobrá, tak vyzvu dalšího, pak vám vrátím slovo.
Dobře, dobře.
All right, so due to some minor technical problems, I would like to request to share the views of Guidance Bureau on potential in general manufacturing. Mr. Pradeep, is Mr. Pradeep from Guidance Bureau here with us?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Mr. Pradeep.
Yeah, hi. So I'm just sharing my screen. Just let me know if you're able to see it or not.
Yes, pane Josefi, zatím si zavřete tu obrazovku a dostanete možnost po ukončení tohoto příspěvku.
Jo.
Okay, Mr. Pradeep, go on.
Co to nejsou špatné. Já jsem měl seznam to se vším to připravený. Vlastně jako je to
ještě poprosím, pane Josefi, my vás slyšíme, si vypněte zvuk.
Jo.
Okay, Mr. Pradeep, go on.
Are you able to see my screen?
Kind of, yes.
Started.
Yeah, if you just maximize the screen first and then you upload it, that will be the best way to do that.
Okay. Okay. Just give me a minute once again.
Okay, so before we will proceed with the presentation of Mr. Pradeep, yes, we will skip the questions and answers, but I would like to maybe use up this minute, because I can see that Mr. Aaron is watching very closely and carefully the presentations of the Czech stakeholders. And maybe I would like to raise the question on you, because we will have to skip from the time reasons, the session. Tell me, from your experience, which of the Czech companies caught your interest most? If you had to choose the one, which one, with reference to the potential of Tamil Nadu, has the biggest chance for the success on Tamil market? Can you share with us, please? Unmute yourself, please. We cannot hear you.
When we look at it from the Tamil Nadu point of view, certainly the government will be extremely keen to move in parallel and not just choose particular sectors. Based on the last few decades of our industrial growth, as I mentioned, we've made very good progress in areas. So as has been spoken by the speakers, automotive and electronics has been a major area, textiles has been another area, pharma has been an area. So these four, I think, are the top sectors. So when I say automotive and automotive components. But in addition to that, there is a fifth one as well with the growing aerospace sector, because our the current government with the previous defense minister made Tamil Nadu one of the two major clusters for aerospace and defense. So I think these five sectors are very good to go at. But at the same time, there are also other sectors that should be considered, that we are able to drive this across the board rather than just particular sector wise. As I mentioned in my address, I think we should also look at what connects people together so that we can increase this engagement. And what connects people together is travel, tourism, culture, arts, music. That's again a good sector to go after. Now it'll be good if we can look at this as one package rather than just one or two sectors.
Okay. Thank you very much, for your answer and your views. Are we having now ready Mr. Pradeep with his presentation?
Mr. Milan, can I introduce my company? I'm Dr. Shivram Prasad, President, the KCP Limited. In meantime,
Mr. Prasad?
yeah.
You want to introduce your company?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's not in the schedule, but definitely we also give the chance, companies like yours, but please, make it short because we are well over the time schedule. So if you manage it within 2 minutes, I
Yes.
will really appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
Mr. Prasad, did you ask for the floor?
Yeah. Can I do it now or after this
Yes, the
presentation?
answer is yes. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Dr. A.V. Shivram Prasad, the President Strategy of the KCP Limited. It's a 79-year-old group, and we are in manufacturing of cement, sugar, heavy engineering, and especially in heavy engineering, we are manufacturing space defense equipments. And the first indigenous launching pad has been manufactured by us. And also we are in power, all power, solar, hydel, and also we can establish power plants of various kind in anywhere. So we are the group in hospitality in Hyderabad, and also we have our sugar factories at Vietnam. So this is all I wanted to introduce for the group. And especially in engineering, we are manufacturing cement, sugar, aluminum, and space defense various equipments for any kind. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Prasanna, and thank you for being polite. I'm very happy, to share the presentation of yours if you have one
already
with
have
the
sent
Czech
it.
stakeholders. Yes, you can send to my email anytime. Now I can see that Mr. Pradeep from Guidance Bureau is ready. Am I right?
Yeah. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Please go ahead.
Yeah, great. Like my colleagues already mentioned, they given a brief introduction about the Guidance Bureau, what we do, and so I lead general manufacturing as a sector here. So we have like Tamil Nadu is a manufacturing hub, like starting from small auto ancillaries till the heavy engineering machinery. So I'm just starting with the list of clusters like what Tamil Nadu can offer to the Czech companies. And so, for example, you take Coimbatore. So this is a district where which is a hub for the pump manufacturing, foundries, and precision components, and a lot more MSME sectors which supplies to the capital goods industry. And so then we have Krishnagiri, so which is a district which is basically the hub for the machine tools and ceramics industry. So you have a lot of ceramic products which can be made from this from the district, and there's a lot of output, and it goes to the export also. And so then we have Vellore, so which is a major hub for the construction equipment manufacturing industry and also for the leather industry. So I think Tamil Nadu is a huge hub for footwear or leather manufacturing, and like 60% of capacity of India is from Tamil Nadu. And so I think huge chunk of exports goes from here. And so we manufacture to a lot of international brands like Nike, Adidas, etc. And then you have the next cluster, the Chennai Sri Perambudur Tiruvallur cluster, which is towards the northwestern part of Tamil Nadu. So this is a huge cluster which is which is known for its automotive components hub, and also you have quite a lot of heavy engineering companies coming up in this space. And you can say like nearly like 50% of the GDP of Tamil Nadu comes from this hub. And towards the right, I mentioned a lot of numerics wherein you can see why the Czech company need to invest in Tamil Nadu. And so just going to the next slide. Yeah, so heavy engineering is one of the major sectors of Tamil Nadu, and so if you see this space is predominantly dominated by the heavy electrical engineering equipment sector, and so we have a predominant existence of the earth moving machinery, and large MNC companies like showing Stater, Caterpillar have set up their plants in Tamil Nadu. So they basically sell for the domestic customers, and a huge chunk of this heavy engineering is also going to the exports. And so we have other minor sectors like food processing machinery, metallurgical machinery, printing machinery, etc. And so I'm just showing you the major players who are present in Tamil Nadu. So we have companies from all over the world. So predominantly European companies. So Caterpillar, and you have JSW Steels and Sita Limited, Doosan, Kobelco. So Timken is a world-renowned bearing company, and you have Toshiba machines, and in recent times we are seeing a huge input of renewable energy companies, even both the OEMs and also the component suppliers in this ecosystem. And apart from that, if you can see the belt around Tamil Nadu, we have the Salem Tirupur belt, which is predominant for its machine tool industry, and we have huge chunk of lands, both SIPCOT lands and private industrial parks in that zones, and the SEZ zones. We have an overall of 40 SEZ special economic zones. So wherein the foreign companies would like to invest. So they would get a free duty-free imports of their raw materials, both the machinery and the raw materials, and they would be tax-free zones for exporting these machinery outside. And we have a number of 118 number of SITCO parks for the MSME company. So right now we have classified some investment which is less than 50 crores to be MSME companies. There is a medium and small scale enterprises. And apart from that, we have the Hosur Bargur belt area. Which is predominant for the leather manufacturing, and so we have clusters in Thoothukudi and Tirunelveli area which are still more developing, and the government is promoting to set up the companies to set up in investments in these areas, and you'll have equal amount of incentives and leverages for these areas, so which the government is pushing to. And yeah, that's it about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pradeep, for your interesting presentation. In fact, the turbines for the renewables for the Doosan company originate also in the Czech Republic, being manufactured after the joint venture with the Škoda. Just for your kind information.
Yeah.
Well, with this interesting information, I would like to conclude the industry session. And now I request Ambassador Milan Hovorka to shortly sum up and to share his views and perspectives on challenges and opportunities of Czech companies with reference to what we just had. Please, Excellency.
Milan, quite a Solomon task to sum up briefly such inspiring exchanges, but definitely I will try my hand. But first of all, as I still see that Jiří Hansel, a dear friend of mine and director of the Czech Chamber of Commerce, is still with us, I have to apologize to him for not mentioning Chamber of Commerce. For all our traditional partner has done to prepare this roundtable event. And Jiří, thank you so much. You have always been with us whenever we have been planning something related to India, and definitely I will look forward to having more substantially more also in the future. then I have to say that I really have been listening carefully to all the interventions, and definitely we seem to have even been over ambitious when allocating a specific time frame to our today's discussions. Definitely, we would need more, substantially more, in order to be able to create an environment in which eventually companies present today could interact between themselves. But I believe that this is not the end of the show. On the contrary, I would say this is just a new beginning. And I would like to ask a colleague of mine, Milan Dostal, for all he has done to organize this. If you can see me, I am now putting hands together and clapping because he has been really very instrumental. So if you can join me, it will be just fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Excellency, of course. Thank you.
Always extremely efficient, Milana. My humble request to you, and definitely, and Director General, Senior Director General, unfortunately, he had no opportunity to address us, Mr. Lavati from Ministry of Industry and Trade, a dear friend of mine, who would have been able to talk to you in Hindi, not necessarily in Tamil, but he has much longer and rewarding, I believe, experience from dealing with India than modest ambassador currently representing the Czech Republic. Richard, thank you so much. Great contribution. But definitely, you are part of what I wanted to say, a kind of follow-up process. If we, it would be great, Milan Dostal, and Mr. Arun, our esteemed honorary consul, and definitely colleagues and friends from both from the Ministry of Industry and Trade and the Chamber of Commerce. If first we can ensure, we can share all that relevant information, and I would be fantastic if all those who attended, and I understand that we had with us many more than just those who had opportunity to speak. So my humble request to you, if we can collect all that information and share with those who have been participating. But more than that, my humble request also to guidance Tamil Nadu and the chamber in particular would be then to share this information to their respective constituencies, those who might be eventually interested in having this kind of information. And my humble request to both of you would be, both institutions would be, please help us reach to as many as we can. Help us create an environment in which more and more Czechs and those who develop their business operations in Tamil Nadu have more and more inclination to work together. Definitely, today we have been trying to structure our discussions around 4 or 5 sectors, maybe even more. But it is crystal clear that this is we are not having an ambition to limit our activities, our efforts, just to these sectors. We just decided to pick up 5 or 6 in order to be able to have more focus debate. And you know, if you have too many issues on the table at the same time, it's not easy to create an effective matchmaking. In my previous intervention, I committed myself to take the lead to the extent you participants would feel comfortable with that role, and definitely I'll be traveling to Chennai very soon to take it forward, and I will definitely be asking Honorable Minister to guide us, to share his wisdom, and definitely we will be discussing what more the governments of the Czech Republic and Tamil Nadu can do to help in your joint efforts. We have been talking quite a lot about mutual sympathies. We absolutely are in agreement that we do have a number of commonalities, and I think that even from today's discussions, it has been crystal clear that definitely there are sectors in which we compete one with another, like, for example, automotive or pharmaceuticals. But today's world, and you businessmen, you know it much better than me, that it's not just about considering someone who is in the same sector as a competitor, but it is also about the capacity or imagination or consideration of working together as partners. Definitely, we have been focusing our today's attention on economic aspects of our bilateral relationship. But I believe our honorary consul, Mr. Aaron, he was absolutely right that we have done extremely well on some other fronts. And now I'm particularly referring to people-to-people contacts that I believe are major assets of a bilateral partnership, and I would say friendship between our two great nations. And he even mentioned a specific figure: 100,000 Indians visiting the Czech Republic in 2019, and I believe this is the result of quite aggressive strategy we had been implementing over the last couple of years to promote the Czech Republic as a preferred place for Indians whenever they travel to Europe. And I'm also pleased that more and more Czechs are keen to travel and disclose, if not all, definitely it's not possible by definition, but at least some wonders and beautiful historical monuments here in India, and definitely in Tamil Nadu. And I'm mentioning all that to assure you that this policy priority remains very high on not only my personal agenda, but also of that of the government of the Czech Republic. The only we are telling to our Indian friends here, please do not abandon the idea of visiting us. If you can, just postpone it. And definitely we at the embassy will be more than happy and privileged to do the needful to facilitate your travel and stay in the Czech Republic. In the meantime, I believe it is also quite an important message to businesses on both sides. You know, at first glance, it may appear that now it's not possible to travel and to meet each other in person, which generally speaking may reflect a current situation. but it is not full picture. Definitely, those who have good reasons, and the Indian side has clearly identified, categories of people who are entitled to travel, and business people definitely fall into that category. And the same goes for the Czech Republic. We have resumed our visa service here at the embassies. You can imagine that we are confronted with substantially increased numbers. Too many Indians willing to spend part of their life in the Czech Republic as students or employers, or eventually in bodies of statutory bodies of Indian companies settled in the Czech Republic. So I was a bit longer. That it's always about emotions, and I believe that in our bilateral relations, emotions have already played quite important role. But it is not just about emotions. It is not just about the form. This is about genuine interest in both sides to do something more in terms of trade and investment volumes. It would be great if, let's say, sometimes in spring 2021, we can have another session that would allow us to assess what has been done in the meantime, and we will see whether there will be another opportunity to meet each other. Milan Dostal, he mentioned Aero India to be organized by your neighboring state, Karnataka, in the month of February, if my understanding is correct. And since we have been talking also about automotive and defense, I believe it is a good news for all of us that both the Czech authorities and Czech businesses are keen to participate once again at a very representative level to this important trade show. So once again, thank you so much. Let us keep in touch. Definitely, we are at your disposal, and if any of you happens to be in New Delhi, you know that the door is always open. Thank you so much. Take care and stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you indeed, Ambassador, for your views and also for your active support, not only to this event. Now, for the vote of thanks, I request Mr. Vinod Solomon, Secretary of SICI, to kindly deliver his comments. Mr. Solomon, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Dostal. Czech Republic and from Tamil Nadu. It is my privilege to, at the outset, thank the Ambassador of the Czech Republic, His Excellency, Mr. Milan Hovorka, for his initiative, his lead in leading this economic diplomacy outreach. Thank you, sir, for your leadership that has made this possible. I also would like to thank Mrs. Martina Tobarova, Dr. Yuri Hansel, the Director of the Czech Chambers of Commerce, and the dignitaries from the Tamil Nadu government, the Honorable Minister for Industry, Mr. M.C. Sampath, Dr. Neeraj Mittal. I take this opportunity to thank the leaders from the various industrial sectors who made their presentations from both the Tamil Nadu side as well as from the Czech Republic. I thank the members from the Guidance Bureau who have been working tirelessly to speak and to make this possible. I thank Mr. A.R.M. Arun, who has been highly supportive and behind the scenes working to make sure that this goes seamlessly on behalf of the Chamber as well as the Honorary Consul of the Czech Republic. I would like to briefly comment, Your Excellency, on some of the points that you had mentioned. we are already on the job compiling the data of all the businesses and participants. So next week, early next week, we would share the data to ensure that the work does not stop here. It gets carried on forward. It is also in our plans to come up with a detailed report on the synergies between Tamil Nadu and the Czech Republic, which we feel would be of great interest to the industries in Tamil Nadu as well as in the Czech Republic. And as you have suggested, Spring 21, we would definitely welcome you and host you and be celebrating the success of this event and all the other initiatives and activities that are gone in the next 6 months. And as our president mentioned, the delegation to the Czech Republic in the month of March, that is certainly something that we are working to make sure it works, make sure it happens jointly with the Tamil Nadu government. We would, if the situation permits, bring about a huge delegation to ensure that the work we have started today is strongly reinforced by action. So at this moment, I thank all the participants again for your patience and for your participation in this. George Bernard Shaw said, "A smile is the best form of thanks." So with a smile, I thank all the participants, all the organizers, the media, everyone who has made this event possible. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. With your thought-provoking comments, Mr. Solomon, we have reached the conclusion of today's roundtable on post-COVID cooperation between the Czech Republic and Tamil Nadu. I would like to namely thank the co-organizers for very pleasant cooperation. Government of Tamil Nadu, Guidance Bureau, Ministry of Industry and Trade of the Czech Republic, representatives of every single company who participated today, and of course our colleagues from Honorary Consulate in Chennai. So with that, thank you, and I wish you a pleasant weekend ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. A dejte na sebe u nás doma pozor.
Thank you.
Děkujeme, thank you.
Držme si palce.
Děkuji taky. Mějte se hezky.
Nashledanou, pane Vaškovský, nashledanou.
Take care and stay safe. Bye bye.
Bye.